Paul Durso here, Insight Folios, and today I want to talk about growth versus income. Which one's more important? Which one comes first? Does income come before growth, or does growth come before income? Which one do you need more? Do you need more growth on your investments, or do you need more income produced on your investments? And to look deep at growth versus income, I want to look at a chart. And this chart actually represents Procter & Gamble stock from 1970 to today. Okay, in 1970 the stock was worth a little over $1, right at $1, and today it's worth well over $100. And if you look at this chart, if your reaction is the same as mine was when I first looked at it, there's really only 4 distinct periods of time where you probably would go, man, if I could have stomached those big 4 drops, I would have made a lot of money on this stock. There's really no other points along this chart that really seem to be of much volatility or any reason why I would have sold it. So I would have had to head off 4 major market storms or aspects of this volatility that I would have had to deal with. But when we actually look at the volatility itself, this is the market volatility on a monthly basis from 1970 to today. And one thing you're going to notice is it never stops. It's always volatile. And the mean right between here is that stock has gone up or down about 6%, 7% every single month since it's been around. Although when we look at the major chart, it looks like there's only been a few actual big corrections where you and I would have probably ended up selling it. The reality is stocks move all the time. And this is why it's so difficult to hold a stock, because we're only looking at the big chart going, hey, there's really no need to sell. But the reality of it, emotions grab us all the time. And when we see a stock have a huge amount of growth and then very quickly lose a whole lot of growth, we're going, well, I don't want to hold on to this. Yet the reality is, if we would have bought this and held it to today, we would have made 1,000% rate of return on an investment. We all want that growth. Well, what's going to hold you to that stock in light of all of this volatility? And that volatility is what scares us out of any type of growth. The reality is, it's dividend. If you own a stock that pays a great dividend, this is the dividend history of Procter & Gamble, and what you're going to notice is it's always paid, and it's never actually gone backwards, and it's always progressed its dividend over time. And you're going to see here early where it paid an extra dividend this one year, but it's continued to go up. So if you were a big proponent and needed the revenue from your stock, Procter & Gamble, you would have been able to stomach all of that volatility because you either needed or wanted this dividend, and this dividend was very consistent, as is a lot of stock dividends out there, very consistent. You would have been banking on this dividend all the while stomaching some crazy volatility that would have made you, me, and just about everybody sell this stock at various different points. And the reality is, if you were living on that dividend, you would have been basking in a ton of growth. So if you're looking at the difference between growth or income, a lot of times when you're focused on what you need, what you want possibly follows. Not all the time, but there are plenty of times, specifically with stocks, if we can focus our time and attention on getting quality dividend, quality income, growth's right around the corner. Hope you enjoy this. Again, this is Paul Durso for Insight Folios.